finances. Timothy is on to tell you today about finances. Let's not choose not to listen and then say tomorrow, I wish I did it. Or don't say, I don't have it now. And then when the time reached to really dish it out, you say, well, kids, I'm so sorry. I was trying to save, but then something happened, so I'm not able. So why don't you go to work for the first 3 years of your university, and you can go in on the fourth year? You know what that does is it shows children off, because once they stay home for the first year of university and they stay home part of the second year, what happened? The desire to continue study is kind of diminished. That's why you find a lot of students now, they choose to take 2 jobs and 3 jobs. And they struggle because now the job is what, $7 an hour or 7.50 an hour? And then that bring hard time for them. And you find when they get bigger and they get pregnant, they go on the system because why, they never had the opportunity to go to university on the first month of the opening days. Or some children says, oh, I'm taking a rest out. Let's not put them through that. If we have been through it, please let us do better. God bless you. I turn you over to Timothy. You're muted. You're muted.
Yes. All right. Thanks. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Thanks once again for the great privilege to be on the show this great afternoon. There's something that I see that I have joy in sharing each time I come on this platform is that I know that we are talking to people that God have destined to, to be liberated, financially, to be liberated in every aspect of their lives. And it gives me joy that I know that this information that we are sharing, we keep touching the life of people, that God will continue to open our eyes to see even beyond, what we see, right? And give us that knowledge to do, and the strength and the ability to do what is right for our families. So it's always a great privilege, as I said. I know we have been talking about some very important subjects in the past 3 weeks. Again, for those people who might be joining this show for the first time, or you are just new to joining us, this family, under the Great Way Financial Money Matters. My name is Timothy, and I am your speaker for today. And what we do basically is we share with our people, we share with our loved ones, one of the most important things that they should know, right? And which relate to their finances, right? So we tell you how money works. We tell you how you can build a strong, future, strong financial future for yourself. It's never too late. And what about those people who will say that, well, I'm already old, like me, for example, and says, okay, probably I want to do something else. I want to do something else for my kids, for my grandkids, for my other, for the generations to come. I want to leave a legacy. Then you are in the right place, because that is exactly what we do for our families. So today we want to talk about the end part, the part 2. We want to finish the part 2 slide on building a strong financial foundation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to recap very, very quickly. Okay. I'm going to recap very, very quickly where we stopped. Okay. And once I recap, we're going to go into the slides of what we have today. We're going to talk about it. And then when I finish that, I want to quickly take us back. So I want to use a problem solution approach to most of what we'll be talking about, what we'll be talking more and more about on this show. So I'm going to give us one of the solutions that can help us to build a strong financial foundation. Okay, so because it's good that people understand they have a foundation and knowledge of what they want to do, as we normally advertise, before they go ahead and do it, right? And that is why that approach is one of the key ways we want to use to communicate to you. We want to use to enlighten you about what you should be doing. So just as a summary to what we talked the last time. Again, before we move ahead, I would like us to know that most of the information we share with you on this platform, they are provided to give you a general understanding and education about retirement planning, about the information you need to know in order to be able to make the right decision for your family. So they are not in any way advertising a particular product or a service to you, right? And mind you, we are independent financial educators, right? We don't have any product, okay? We don't have any specific product that we recommend that you must take. We will provide you recommendation based on your financial need analysis, which we do when you call us and you set up that one-on-one call and we talk about your financial situation and what you can do better. Some people don't know that their financial situation is great because they think that they don't have, a lot of people think that they don't have extra and extras of money, you know, to throw around. It makes them to feel that, oh my God, I can't even save $1. But what they don't realize is it drop, it says, they normally say drop of water is what constitutes an ocean. So what that means is that all the money that there is some money that you are leaving behind that can be used towards your savings. And when you have savings, you can really do a lot more, you know, with preparing for that future that you desire, right? So that is why we have that disclaimer. The motivation has always remained very firm. And the motivation is, and I can even share my screen as well. Can you give me the opportunity to share my screen?
I don't have the opportunity to share the screen today.
Not yet. It's still saying, okay. All right, maybe now. No, not yet.
I think I have it now.
Yes, we do have it now. Yeah, thank you. So talking about what we need to do, right? We want to talk about the motivation, why we talk about some of these things we sing about every day from the mountaintop. The reason is that there are a lot of serious financial challenges that we are encountering in today's world. A lot of us know that there have been some different factors that have influenced where we are today. E.g., everybody knows that with COVID-19, it was even a big story, right? Being alive today, you know, anybody that is alive today in today's world knows that they are alive because, not because of they have the power to do it. Do you agree with me, Tex? Because even the presidents of the world, okay, the leaders of the nation came to a conclusion that they would have never expected anything like this. And guess what? The leaders of the world come to a conclusion that there is somebody that is powerful than any other person that has control over this world. Okay. However, with these challenging times and with what we are seeing about statistics, the question we normally ask our people is, what part of the statistic do you want to be? Do you want to be the part of the statistics that made a difference in your generation, or you want to be a statistics that is a bad example to people, right? We have to decide. So statistics is showing us that Canadians, but especially about 35% of Canadians don't save at all, right? They don't even save, they don't even invest, right? Then it is very, very important to understand why we should save and why we should invest. For the last 3 days, since we had our last show on Monday, one of the biggest topic in the finance that have been around, in case you don't know, is one thing, is inflation. Yes. Do you know why people are very, very, very concerned about inflation? Right. I went through the gas station yesterday and I was scared to see how much gas is. If you have not bought gas this week, you can just go out there. That's why it's really, really scary. You know, that the regular gas is already in the almost $170. Just imagine. So those are the reasons why you need to prepare yourself. You need to save and invest, because if you don't invest, your money that you even have, that you think you have, will not have the power that you need them to have in order for you to be able to sustain yourself. Don't forget that wealth formula, right, that we talked about. Inflation is very, very key. If you have $1 million today and you don't use that money properly, in the next 30 years, the money, that 1 million, will not be able to buy you a house of 1 million. It will only be able to buy you a house worth of 500,000. And it's 1 million. Don't get it wrong. You have 1 million. Nobody will take it from you, right? If you invest it, if you put it in the bank, nobody is going to touch it. But that money doesn't have the power it should have. A lot of people talk about the registered retirement savings plan, which is one of the most popular, retirement investment that is recommended in Canada. But on an average, 55,000 is the amount people save into that account. Guess what? I am going to take us through a presentation today, and I'm going to focus on the difference between RRSP and another strategy that you can use to prepare for your retirement, and what the difference is, right? Or what the difference are, we're going to point it out. Okay, so those are the motivation we have. Don't forget, we talk about the wonderful wealth formula and the magic of understanding that you need time for your money to grow. By the way, let's okay. So the money magic, why we want our money to grow, right? We understand that we need our money to grow over time. Okay, we need to know how the rate at which it will grow. Very, very key. That is the wealth formula. And inflation and taxes are very, very important to manage, because if we don't manage them very well, they may take all the money or almost the yield of the money from us. So picture it this way. Even if you have this money and over time your rate of return is not good enough, then the inflation and taxes will take away this and even make your money weaker. Okay, so that is a great money. Then finally, we discussed about the importance of understanding how life works. Everybody knows that how have a mental picture of how life works. How does it work? We are giving back to, they take care of us. One day we take responsibility of ourselves. We also procreate, right? According to God's will, and then life goes on and on that way. However, when we had the opportunity to work when we are young, then we should use the opportunity wisely so that when we are old, we will be able to retire, with peace of mind. Okay, and even build legacy and leave legacy behind, even when we are called on by God. Okay, so we are just, by the way, we are just, for those people who may be joining for the time, we are just recapping about what we have talked the last time. If you want to know more details about this presentation and the recap, please go to the video that of the program we had on Monday, on Tuesday, 8th of February from 12 noon to 1 p.m. Now, the last thing I want to talk about briefly about building a strong financial foundation, then I will go quickly into how can you build a strong financial foundation, right? How can you build a strong financial foundation? And this last topic will lead us to one of them. Okay, so where does your money go today? Where do you keep your money? So we want to start the presentation of today. Okay, so well, there are 3 different ways that where your money lies today. Okay, so one of them is what we call the tax now environment. The other one is what we call the tax later bucket of where you put your money. And the last one is tax advantage. These are the 3 big buckets that everybody today puts their money in. Okay, so let's look at it very quickly. Tax now, what does this mean? When you put your money in a checking account or savings account or in a guaranteed insurance certificate, GICs, stock, mutual fund, bonds, interest income. When we put our money in this investment, including non-registered investment, then we are taxed the next taxation period. You must report what you earned on this investment, on this vehicle where you are putting your money, on this bucket, right? So if you have, let me take a very good example. Let's say, for example, you have a savings account and you put $10,000 in it, and the banks give you 2% of $10,000, right? Now, the 2% of $10,000 is $200. So at the end of the tax year, when you are filing your taxes, you must report that to CRA, the Canada Revenue Agency, because guess what? It is taxed now, okay? And your salary is also taxed instantly. So your salary is also like your checking account, okay? Tax later. If you put your money in a registered retirement savings plan or registered retirement income fund, so what happened is that each time you want to take the money from this from this bucket, the government will take some taxes, okay, based on your tax bracket. RESP, for Register in Education Savings Plan. Yes, when you are taking your money from your Register Education Savings Plan, for anybody in Canada, the government do take taxes on the interests which you have generated, not on the amount you contributed, but on the amount your money has generated. However, if you are taking this money out for your kids at the age of 18, right? Most likely they will be in a lower tax bracket. Okay, so that means that the taxes that will be paid will be minimal. But yes, it is taxed. Annuity. When you have an annuity whereby you keep some money, you know, as an annuitant with the investment company. So what the annuity does is you give a company an amount of money, and your contribution they will start paying you some salary. Let me use that word. They will start paying you some money in a later year in the future. So let's say you give them 100,000 today. They will say, okay, Mr. Timothy, you are 30 years old today. You are giving us 200,000. When you are 65, we will start giving you 1,000 every month or 2,000 every month. Okay. However, the truth is that the money you have given them, they will use that money and then they will start paying you some guaranteed income in the future. Okay. When you are receiving that income, the government will tax you. Some people do not know that the Canada pension plan, you know, that money that a lot of people say that the government is taking care of me, they are taxing it before they give you. Your pensions, they are taxed. Can you imagine? Your old age disability or old age security, okay? Registered disability savings plan for disabled people, okay? That you contribute and the government, you know, use it to take care of you. They contribute as well to add to that money. It is all tax. Okay. Now let's look at tax advantage. Oh, sorry, 1 second. So,
You okay?
Yeah, it's just a blip in my network here. 1 second. Okay, I think it's good now. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Tax advantage. A plan like an insured retirement plan is tax advantage because you're going to get a tax-free income. Tax-free savings account, you know, that wonderful vehicle we talked about whereby, am I sharing? No, I'm not sharing yet. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, tax advantage vehicle are, you know, insured retirement plan, number one, which I will talk about today because it's good that you understand why it has a tax advantage for you. We have what we call the tax-free savings income. When you do a critical illness, a lot of people don't know that when we have the ability to work today, if you can work 18 hours a day, you will get a lot of money. You will pay a lot of taxes, that's fine. You will, let me say that you will get the money, you will enjoy the money. Let me use it in that context. That is even if you find the time to enjoy it. But what happened, yes, but what happened if you are not able to go and work for 18 hours? You just tell me. Because of one illness or the other. God forbid. Then what happened? Then that income that you can earn, you know, when you can, then is gone, is vanished. So that is why when you have a protection in place like critical illness, in order to help you, the government doesn't tax it because they know that there is wisdom in doing that. What about health insurance, right? We have said it on this call before. Nobody save money in the bank and they ask you, what are you saving this money for? I'm saving it just in case I'm sick. Nobody does that, right? But does that mean that people don't have health issues? Well, the truth is that when you go and ask the aged population, okay, whereby people have health issues, not because they have not used their life, not because they have not taken care, they didn't take care of themselves, not because they don't have money, right? Not because they have done anything wrong, just because of nature of age, right? They age as we age. Then we understand why it's important to have health insurance. But the good thing is that it's a tax advantage. Some pension, right? Some form of pension, which we will talk about, have some tax advantages as well. And guess what? Lastly, primary residence. If you don't have a house today, please know that you having a house is a way for you to make money without paying tax. Because if you sell your primary residence at some point, the house which you buy for yourself, a primary residence is a residence that is registered as the house where you live in Canada and which you bought. If you buy that house for 500,000 today, and after 30 years, when you want to sell that house, hopefully you want to buy a smaller house where you can stay, you are old, right? And you sold the house for 1.5 million. How much gain did we make? We make a gain of 1 million, right? 1.5 million minus 500. Guess what? That $1 million or whatever gain that is on that money, depending on how much you have paid on your mortgage, right? Whatever amount you get is going into your pocket. So that is one of the tax advantage vehicle. So what do we want to do now? This is our contact number. Feel free to contact us at any time. We will be more than happy to sit down with you and talk you through what are the ways you can make a difference in your finances by building a very strong financial foundation. So let's talk about one of the vehicles that has been proven, that have stood the test of time, that you can use today in order to prepare for your retirement, in order for you to prepare and build a strong financial foundation. All right. So would you like to save more money? Of course, the context of our discussion around building a strong financial foundation is about you saving. So the capital answer is yes. But when exactly should you start saving? Is it when you are retired at age 65, or when exactly? Well, there is an ancient proverb that says that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, because if you plant that tree now, then you will have so many fruits to harvest. What about the statistics of Canadian? The statistics of Canadian is showing that a lot of us are familiar with this, that we have said it all, on our calls, that 67% of Canadians are financially weak, but only 9% are financially secure. A lot of Canadians want to see themselves in the financially secure. Okay, but unfortunately, 24% of Canadians died before the age of retirement, and we don't have any control over it. But we pray that we will live long. But when we live long, what exactly do we need? We need financial security. We need all the money to be able to have the best retirement. Okay, so, and this brings us to understand how the money works. We have showed you in the past that the best way to invest your money is to take your money directly to the big companies, because the big companies will pay you higher interest rate that will beat inflation, such as 12%, right? I want 12% because 12% is going to give me a lot more rate of return, right? So what about those of the people that are saying there is always a risk when you are investing? Yes, the answer is yes, there's a risk involved, but it has been proven statistically that if the market goes down by 50%, you will be far better off than investing your money in the wrong vehicle, right? If the market even goes down by 90%, you are still far better off investing in the big companies because they are of secured investment. Okay, so the risk today is actually you not taking a risk that is worthwhile, a risk that can liberate your family. That is exactly the risk. We talked about taxes, right? We talked about the fact that we need to pay taxes, but we need to understand how much taxes we want to pay. Because if we don't understand how much taxes we want to pay, then we are not following the wealth formula. And we agree that a lot of people prefer to pay as less and less taxes as possible, or even not to pay any tax. Okay, so we have showed you as well that there is a difference between the way the traditional institution, prepare Canadians for retirement, as opposed to an insured retirement plan that helps you to prepare by paying less for more financial benefit. For example, in an illustration, we can show you that you will be contributing less than half of the amount you need to contribute if you need to contribute it to RRSP, if you need to contribute it to mortgage insurance, if you need to contribute to critical illness and so forth, as opposed to a plan that can give you and your family a peace of mind. So most of the banks in Canada offers you insured retirement plan, like RBC, like TD, like BMO, like Scotiabank. But the problem is that you need a lot of money. You need so much of money in order for you to invest in this company, in order for you to be able to buy this plan. For example, if you want to buy this plan with Bank of Montreal, for example, you need to pay an annual deposit of $25,000 for 15 years. In Scotiabank, you need to pay an annual deposit of $20,000 for the next 15 years. So that is why a lot of rich people use this insured retirement plan. Why? Because it's more affordable, it has more financial benefit. But what about if it is affordable today? If you start saving $6 in a day, we said our saving challenge on Gemfm is $2, is $3. And before you know what is going on, if you can save $2 and $3 this month, do you agree with me that by next month you will be able to save $5 and $6? Absolutely yes. So let's start saving so that we can invest in a strategy that can prepare us. And that is the only way we can be part of, this 9%. Okay, these 9% are people whom are ready to save as much as they can, and to take care of their family, to prepare their family for the future. Okay, so this is where we start. It says, congratulations, you got approved. The reason is that even though this plan is wonderful and is available to anybody, in order for you to get this plan, you must you need to go through an approval. Okay, because not everybody can qualify. Not everybody. Only very few people can qualify. All right, so so before we wrap up today, I want to talk quickly about the difference between the plan that I just mentioned to you now and the plan which a lot of Canadians get to use, which is the RRSP. All right, so let's take a look at it and let's wrap up for today. So I will share my screen again. So this is an insured retirement plan. And this plan is a monthly contribution of $250. And this lady, this illustration means that this contribution will happen for $3,000 a year for 20 years. And this beautiful lady will start earning $30,277 tax-free. Okay, tax-free from age 67 to 100. I know a lot of us are following because we are familiar with some of these things that we are talking about. So this is it, right? So let's look at it. Now, taxable investment. This is your RRSP. If you contribute money into RRSP, just let's pay attention to the contribution to investment. So this is your RRSP. You contributed to RRSP for 20 years. For those of us who have RRSP. Now, if you do that at the age of 67, you need to know how long your money will last, right? Because you want to start collecting money. The purpose of your plan is that you can earn income, right, when you are retired. So how long will your money last? Because that will differentiate you between who is financially educated and who is not. So the truth is that at the age of 74, if you contribute that same money into your RRSP, guess what? The remaining balance after taking $30,277 from age 67, the remaining balance will be $318. And guess what? After then, you will have no income in your RRSP, right? No more income. Is this important for you to know? Yes, let's look at it. If you use an insured retirement, strategy, if you use an insured retirement strategy and we put it side by side with a taxable investment like the RRSP. So this is what you get. How much is your money going to last? At the age of 67, you start enjoying $30,277 in your taxable investment. You start enjoying $30,277 after tax is withdrawn. But unfortunately, at the age of 79, your RRSP balance will be $0. Okay. However, if you live long, you live longer, right? What happened? Which one is better? Is it your RRSP whereby there will be no more money for you for your retirement, or it is the insured retirement plan that gives you a lifetime income. So this is the difference between the two. What is your financial legacy? If this person is called home at the age of 90, their financial legacy for their RRSP, a taxable investment, is $0. Meanwhile, for their IRP, which is the insured retirement plan, is $899,000. So which one do you think that is better for your family? It's a question about you. Well, there are a lot of reasons why the insured retirement plan that we talk about is giving us all those wonderful benefits, right? And one of the reasons is that it's like a loyalty reward. It works exactly the same thing. You are getting free money just because you are committed to saving for your future, right? A lot of us are familiar with Air Miles, Optimum Card, and Costco Card, right? That is how they work. So loyalty rewards, okay? So this is how it works. Your first year, when you start contributing to your retirement plan, you start getting loyalty reward of $14. It's added to your fund value. As time goes on, in the 21st year, you have a bonus of 1,837. You are not this free money. And guess what? You have even finished contributing, and that money is coming into your account. It's coming into your fund value, and it's letting your money to grow. Guess what? At some point, you will be getting some bonus interest of 15,305. Okay, it's added to your fund value. At the age of 90, you'll be getting around 36,000 added to your fund value. These bonuses help our money to grow. That is why you need to understand where you want to put your money. If you put the money in the wrong place, you will not get all this loyalty reward bonus, because a lot of those investment companies will pay themselves first before they pay you, right? They will make $640,000, but they will give you $40,000, like the banks. Yes. So what about if we are called home very soon? A lot of people don't think about that, but I think biblically as well, we know that one day we will be called home, because our most important vision, or our most important desire, is to go to a better place one day, right? For those of us that are children of God. And we have to look at this. Which one is better for your family? If you do put this investment of $3,000 into an RRSP for 1 year, if anything happens in the first year, your family only gets the amount to contribute, and $84. But if you put it in a plan like the insured retirement strategy, they get 700,000. So the question is, how much do you like your family? In the taxable investment, after the 10th year, they get 39,000. But how much do you get? We are showing you real numbers, right? They will get 700,000. So what about in the 20th year? 104,000 is a lot of money. It's good money, but can you still compare it with 700,000? It's not comparable, right? Look at it here, 700,000. You can't compare. So that is why we say, if life is short, we want your family and my family to be protected. And if we retire and we want to make sure that we have the peace of mind, we want to make sure we have money that we can earn that will not run out. Okay, your money in your insured retirement plan, the money which you start saving, depending on how much you want to save, we can design it for you today that it will never run out. right? Did you hear me? It will never run out when you need the money most. Okay, and government is not going to come and collect it all Canada revenue. The one challenge is, as good as this plan that we talked about is, right, it's not everybody that can qualify because of the survivor benefit. So my last word for you today is, if you want to know exactly one of the method you can use to build a tax advantage financial foundation, that gives you a strong financial foundation that gives you the opportunity to pay no tax at all, then we need to fill out an application for you. Okay. We need to fill out an application for you, and we need to submit the application and see whether you qualify. Okay. So in order to wrap up, to summarize for today, what I've just showed you today is, despite the fact that we are building and looking, getting the right education and building on it, on that education to understand the best way to build a strong financial future and foundation, then still we need to know those things we need to do. And I've showed you one way that you can do that today. You see that wealth formula, you see that taxes that you have to pay that determines your wealth. If you want to control that taxes, please make sure that you ask us about how you can apply for this strategy that can give you a lifetime tax-free income in Canada. Okay, thank you once again from Greatway Financial. It's a great pleasure. It's good thing that we jump here and there, today, but we just wanted to make sure that we want to show you that all these things are connected, right? As much as you have the knowledge without action is very weak.
Yep.
But when you put action to it, even according to the word of God, when you put action into anything you are praying about, the results are enormous. They are really, really unbelievable. So thank you once again. I appreciate that you understand a little bit more about where you need to be putting your money today. If you didn't get it, you can go and look at the recording, play it. Those are the buckets you can put your money today. However, the decision on where you want to put your money depends on you. But we think everybody wants to take advantage or advantages that will work best for their family. So look out and watch out for those tax advantage vehicle and make sure that you are investing money there. What do I mean? I won't tell you to go and close your checking account today or your saving account, right? No, you can't do that because we need it. We need to have a checking account. If not, you can't even earn money. You can know where to put your money, unless you want to keep it under your pillow, which I will not recommend. Okay? Or unless you want to keep it with text, man, Warren, that is fine too. But you need to keep it. You need your checking account, no problem. Do you need to do RESP for your children, even though it is tax deferred? Yes, we need it because it helps us to plan for their retirement. It helps us to plan for their education. Sorry, specifically. However, should I put my money elsewhere? Yes and yes. And that is why we are showing you those tax advantages that you can take to keep your money. So that is it for today. I just wanted to connect those things, dot the I's and cross the T's so that you have some good background about the building your strong financial foundation part 1 and part 2, and an example of how it applies to you, the action you can take to build a foundation that is strong. Okay. So back to you, Texman Warren. I think if you have any question in the house, we have 5 minutes before the end of the day.
We don't have questions today. We just have a lot of people on today.
Oh, really? Okay. That is interesting. So if we have a lot of people today.
We had 10 people share.
Okay. All right.
We have people here and then people in Radio Land.
Okay, that's beautiful. Please, this is just the concluding part of the part 2 of building a strong financial foundation, which we talked a little bit about, and then we connected it to something very, very quickly as well. And we just wanted to show you that an example of different vehicles or buckets you can put your money and how the growth, differs as well. If you want to know more, you can, definitely connect with us on our numbers, and we can book an appointment, and we can talk about something that is centered around you and how we can help you. So thank you from my end. Have a wonderful weekend and a great weekend. And by the way, text, let me know if Mr. John still wants us to have one of those sessions to talk about the cryptocurrencies. We have already made an arrangement, but I missed to mention it on Tuesday, sorry, to you. On that, yes. It doesn't, anytime that slot is available, just let us know and we will come aboard to talk about what our people should know about a lot of things that they are hearing about cryptocurrencies. And that we may are talking about Bitcoin and other investment strategies, options that people are going into today. Of course, we will always tell you, this is the pro, this is what you should know about it, this is the con, these are the disadvantages.
Cons?
Yes, absolutely.
Or the do's and the don'ts.
Right.
So I'm gonna call him probably at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock when I'm finished. I have a next show coming up at 2:30.
That works. That works perfectly.
If I text him, I would get a response, but I may not get an answer. Another one. So I'm gonna personally call him or call my boss, and she will tell me what to do.
Okay, agreed.
Call Mrs. Khalees. That's my new boss. So now when I say my new boss, I mean Mrs. Khalees, and my old boss, my ex-boss, that meaning John. So I'll let you know. And thank you again for coming on, Timothy. This is Great Way Finances saying goodbye. We finish.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks for coming here. And thank you for Radio Land for listening to us. And those are on the Facebook page that share, love, like, and continue to sharing. Doris and Oliver, thank you very much for being here with us. Okay, bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
See you guys again at 2:30. Bye-bye.